Good afternoon, dear members of the State Commission, my colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have assembled here to make a decision to confirm the prime and the backup crews for the transport piloted vehicle Soyuz MS-03. Earlier, the State Commission, considering the reports on technical condition of the ISS and in preparation of the rocket and Soyuz vehicle, as well as all supporting services, took the decision on the 16th of November to launch the Soyuz to the ISS, yet another expedition. And according to the timeline, we have conducted complex and integrated testing at the integrating launch facility. The results of the tests have been successful and were within the established time frame. And let's proceed to the reports. To Yuri Valentinovich Lonchikov, head of the GCDC. Here is the floor to Mr. Lonchikov. Dear colleagues, for Expedition 5051 to the International Space Station, the following crew were trained. Prime crew Novitskiy, commander for the Soyuz and FE for the space station, Pesquet, FE for the Soyuz and the ISS, and Peggy Whitson, FE for the Soyuz and the commander for the space station, Yurchikhin, Fyodor FE1 for the station and the commander for the Soyuz, Paolo Nespoli, FE1, and Jack Fischer, FE1. They have successfully passed all tests and comprehensive testing. According to the medical commission, the crew members are considered to be healthy and in good shape for the mission. The meeting at the GCDC reviewed the results of the tests and the training for the crew members and came to the following conclusion. The crew members of Expedition 5051 for MS-03 Soyuz vehicle are ready for the mission, and the training program have been completed fully. Based on the aforementioned, I would suggest we approve the prime crew as follows: Novitskiy, commander; Peggy Whitson, FE2 and FE1, Thomas Pesquet. The backup crew, commander Yurchikhin Fyodor, Jack Fischer, FE1, and Paolo Nespoli, FE2. Thank you for your attention. Here is the report of Sergei Romanov, the technical head of the rocket launch complex. Good afternoon. Yesterday at the launch complex, we completed all preparations for the first day. We did not have any comments, and the launch complex is ready for the Soyuz MS-03 support. And this concludes my report. Thank you. Does anybody want to say anything today? And I would like to give the floor to Oleg Skorobogatov, Deputy Director General of RC-Energia. After the reports on the readiness for the mission for MS-03 Soyuz vehicle, on the readiness of the launch complex, the State Commission have decided first to approve the crews for Soyuz MS-03 as prime crew, commander Novitskiy Oleg Viktorovich, Roscosmos; flight engineer Pesquet Thomas, ESA; and FE2 Whitson Peggy, NASA; backup crew, commander of the vehicle Yurchikhin Fyodor, FE1 Jack Fischer, and FE2 Paolo Nespoli, ESA. Second, continue the preparation of the launch complex and fueling operations of the launch complex. Does anybody have any comments? then the suggestion of the State Commission is approved. And I would like to now give the floor to Kirk Sherman, ISS Program Manager.
Congratulate Fyodor, Jack, and Paolo for completing your training. And I'd also like to congratulate Oleg, Peggy, and Tomas for completing your training.
Добрый день, дамы и господа, члены Государственной комиссии. Хотел бы, во-первых, поздравить Федора, Джека и Паула с окончанием подготовки, а также Олега, Тома и Пегги с окончанием подготовки к полету.
So, Fyodor and Jack, it's a little unusual in the recent age for you to be on orbit with your prime crew, but I know you're looking forward to being up there, and I can tell you we're very much looking forward to having you on orbit in the near future.
Федор и Джак, конечно, необычно. Я знаю, что вы хотели бы быть на орбите в данный момент с членами основного экипажа. Я уверен в этом, но мы с нетерпением ждем вашего прибытия на орбиту в ближайшем будущем.
So, Oleg, Peggy, and Tomas, it's very interesting that you'll be arriving to the ISS on the 18th anniversary of the first launch of the ISS. So, very important anniversary, and we'll look forward to you arriving up there.
Олег, Пегги и Тома, конечно, очень интересно, что вы будете прибывать на Международную космическую станцию, когда мы будем отмечать 18-летие первого запуска модуля к МКС. Мы с нетерпением ожидаем вашего успешного прибытия на станцию.
You'll be very busy from the very beginning. We have a Cygnus unberthing on the 21st, so shortly after you arrive, we have a progress and an HTV, 2 EVAs, and that's just the first couple of months while you're on orbit.
Очень напряженная будет экспедиция. Сразу через несколько дней после вашего прибытия, 21 ноября, у нас стыковка корабля «Сигнус», затем прибытие кораблей «Прогресс», HTV, 2 выхода в открытый космос. Очень-очень насыщенная программа.
Including a very robust research program, over 304 investigations and 89 new investigations. So we look forward to your successful mission. We hope you'll take some time and enjoy the unique view that you have on the Earth, on our beautiful planet. And we wish you a safe flight and soft landing.
Также очень успешная и напряженная будет научная программа. 304 научных эксперимента запланировано, 89 из них новых. Поэтому с нетерпением ожидаем вашего прибытия. Желаем хорошей работы на Международной космической станции. Надеемся, вы будете наслаждаться видом на Землю с борта МКС, удачного пуска и мягкой посадки.
Спасибо.
Thank you so much. And now the floor goes to the head of the ESA.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
ESA Program Management, Barty Bernardo.
Good afternoon. I would like first to congratulate our Russian colleague for the preparation of the launch and of the mission.
Добрый день, уважаемые дамы и господа. Прежде всего, я хотел бы поздравить наших российских коллег с успешной подготовкой миссии и запуска.
In the same way, I would like to congratulate our NASA colleagues for the readiness of the US space segment.
Также я хотел бы поблагодарить наших коллег из НАСА за состояние готовности американского сегмента МКС.
On our side, we are happy to report that the European infrastructure is ready to support the mission.
Мы со своей стороны с радостью подтверждаем, что европейский сегмент, европейская часть МКС также готов к выполнению миссии.
I would like also to congratulate the backup crew, Fyodor, Jack, and Paolo, for supporting their duty.
Также я хотел бы поздравить резервный экипаж Федора, Джеффри и Паула за то, что они должным образом выполнили свои обязанности.
And at last but not at least, Peggy, Oleg and Thomas, congratulations for your readiness for flight. And Thomas, we are behind, Thomas actually, sorry, my apologies for that. We are behind you. You have an ambitious science program that you will execute, and we are all here to support you. All the best for everyone and for a safe flight and a safe return.
И последнее, но от этого не менее важно, я хотел бы поздравить основной экипаж Олега, Пегги и Тома с тем, что они удачно подготовились к запуску. И в особенности хочу отметить, что Тома предстоит насыщенная программа научных исследований. И хочу пожелать всему экипажу всего наилучшего и удачи.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Спасибо.
Thank you. And now the floor goes to the General Director Solntsev Vladimir Lvovich.
Добрый день.
Good afternoon, my colleagues.
Традиционно хочу пожелать
Traditionally, I would like to wish you
основному экипажу
successful mission to the prime crew.
роль завершить
It is a very distinguished role to complete the year that marks the 55th year anniversary of the mission of Gagarin, and wish you successful operations. As it has already been mentioned, the science program is going to be very intense, but I'm sure you will complete it successfully because you are well trained, and we will be awaiting you on the ground. For the backup crew, you will start a new year. It's going to be a 60th anniversary of the launch of the first satellite. And that's how you will start yet another new year. And let's now turn to the prime crew and wish everybody good luck. And we would like to give the floor to the head of the city of Baikonur. Dear cosmonauts and guests of the Baikonur launch complex, from the name of all Baikonur residents, I would like to congratulate the prime crew, Oleg, Peggy, and Toma, with their expedition to the ISS. I am delighted to say thank you to the most experienced crew member, Peggy Whitson, for whom it's going to be a third mission to the ISS. Peggy has spent 377 days in orbit, which is a record for female crew members. Moreover, Peggy Whitson has performed 6 spacewalks. So, dear Peggy, you're such a brave woman who has won over hearts of all Baikonur residents. I admire you. All the best at launch. I hope you will get to the ISS safe, and good luck on orbit. All systems at the launch complex are ready. And according to our good traditions, the first crew member who is going to be going to his first expedition to the ISS, I wanted to gift you a sign of the Baikonur Cosmodrome, and it's going to be your token that you can carry on board with you for good luck. And now we would like to give the floor to Mr. Rogozhnikov. Dear crew members, please allow me, from the name of the General Medical Commission and from the name of all those who worked to get ready for the expedition, I wish you good luck. Let's hope that there will be very few of nominal situations, and that you will be happy with the results of your work. And we know that you are in great health and great condition to be successful in your mission. And I wanted to draw your attention that Toma Pesquet is the youngest crew member from the European Space Agency, and he has all horizons open to him. Oleg has already proven himself, and we have no doubts about Peggy. I wanted to draw your attention. Please look at the emblem that they have chosen for the expedition. Peggy is an eagle. Oleg is Toma is like a tiger or lion, and Oleg is like a buffalo. So we hope that this expedition, this mission to the ISS is going to be successful. Peggy Whitson is the most outstanding female crew member. And Fyodor, why are you so sad? You know your goal. You have completed your goals and tasks admirably. You are a moral support to the prime crew, and we're sure you will be successful as well. And now we will like to give the floor to the commander of the Soyuz MS-03, to Oleg Novitskiy. My dear colleagues, my dear friends, first of all, I would like to say thank you to all of you for making this decision to approve us for the expedition, to all those who worked on the creation of who built the Soyuz vehicle and supported it. And we know that our science program is vast, and we would like to say that we as the crew are ready to accomplish all goals and tasks before us, and we would like to thank everyone who made the decision to put this crew together. And now the floor goes to Thomas Pesquet. My dear colleagues, members of the State Commission, first of all, I would like to thank everybody who took part in the training of our crew for this expedition, all specialists from all training sessions, training centers. And we would like to thank members of the backup crew for their support during these last days before launch. I am flight engineer for this expedition, and I am ready for the mission. And now I would like to give the floor to Peggy Whitson, flight engineer 2. I know that we are a great example of international cooperation, and I think that this is the strongest, most beautiful cooperation that we can think of in this world. We know that a lot of people speak foreign languages and live in different countries and foreign cultures. Believe in different gods, but we are all gathered here together to work for the benefit of one goal, space exploration. And of course, we would like to thank everybody who has worked on this project and who is supporting international cooperation. And of course, we are ready for the mission. Thank you. And now the floor goes to the commander of the backup crew, Yurchikhin Fyodor. Thank you to all of you. It's been a great honor for us to participate and to be the backup crew of such great prime crew. Guys, good luck. As for us, we will complete our task here, and on Monday we will be ready to continue with our training for our mission. And we will see you guys in orbit, and I know that everything is going to be fine. And now we would like to give the floor to Jack Fischer. I just want to say thank you to the instructors, to the training specialists. I just want to say thank you. This Russian word, благодарить, is not easy to say. I wanted to say thank you to engineers, to everybody who maintains, who designed Soyuz and this beautiful rocket. And I also wanted to say thank you, all big bosses of the State Commission who let this great crew to be launched and to participate in the mission. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who supported us, who trained us for the mission, who trained the prime crew, and I wish the prime crew successful mission and soft landing, and to us as well. And thank you. Dear Oleg Viktorovich, Toma, Peggy, from the name of the State Commission, let me allow you to congratulate you to being appointed prime crew of the Soyuz MS-03 to the International Space Station. Good evening. We would like to greet you at pad 17 at Baikonur. As you know, less than an hour ago, there was a meeting of the State Commission And according to the results of the State Commission meeting, the prime and the backup crews have been approved and appointed for Soyuz MS-03. Prime crew, commander of the Soyuz vehicle, hero of Russia, Oleg Novitskiy.
Pilot Cosmonaut, hero of Russian Federation, Soyuz MS-03 commander, Oleg Novitskiy, Roscosmos, Russia.
Борт-инженер Союз МС-03 Тома Песке, Европейское космическое агентство, Франция.
Soyuz MS-03 flight engineer of ISS 5051 expedition, Thomas Pesquet, ESA, France.
И борт-инженер 2, командир экспедиции МКС-51 Peggy Whitson.
Soyuz MS-03 flight engineer 2, commander of the ISS 51 increment, Peggy Whitson, NASA, USA.
В составе дублирующего экипажа.
The backup crew has been approved as follows.
Федерации, командир ТПК Союз МС Fyodor Yurchikhin.
The backup crew has been approved as follows. Pilot Cosmonaut, hero of Russian Federation, Soyuz MS-03 commander, Fyodor Yurchikhin, Roscosmos, Russia.
Борт-инженер Союз МС Джек Фишер, США, НАСА.
Soyuz MS-03 flight engineer, Jack Fischer, NASA, USA.
И борт-инженер 2, Союз МС Paolo Nespoli, Европейское космическое агентство, Италия.
Soyuz MS-03 flight engineer 2, Paolo Nespoli, ESA, Italy.
Мы поздравляем экипажи и
Congratulations to the prime and the backup crew. And we are ready to start our pre-launch conference. Just wanted to remind you, colleagues, that the time of the press conference is limited. We appreciate that so many mass media representatives are interested in participants of the expedition. So please limit yourself to just one question. So, Roscosmos.
Welcome to ask their first question.
Здравствуйте, поздравляю всех с
Roscosmos TV asks their first questions. Hello. The question is of a philosophical nature. We have recently received some information that your expedition may be extended up to 2018. So, what does that ISS is going to probably be in orbit till 2028. So what does the ISS mean to you? Oleg, should you begin? Well, it's a little bit a tricky question. Just push the question on me. I guess I can say honestly for myself. ISS is my home. It's the place where I work. It's the place where we develop friendship. It leads to great results when we are working together without any distractions like politics or anything like that. We have our friendship, we have our goals, we have our tasks. We have a place where we can be friends and work together. I completely agree with Oleg. I think ISS is the pinnacle of international cooperation, and it is extremely important for us. And I also wanted to draw your attention to the fact that we would love to continue our cooperation and friendship.
I should translate what he said because I agree with it so much.
Я, наверное, переведу, что сказали мои коллеги. Я полностью согласна с ними.
Because he said that the most important thing about the station is our friendship, and it's a place to work, it's a place to live, but the most important thing is our friendship and the work that we accomplish there.
Самой основной вещью в Международной космической станции является наша дружба. Это то место, где мы работаем, это то место, где мы живем, но основной аспект — это все-таки дружба.
And I completely agree with him. I think it is a great place to work and live, and I feel really lucky that we are going to be with friends while we're there.
Я полностью согласна. Это потрясающее место для того, чтобы жить и работать. Я считаю, что мне очень повезло, что мне предстоит возможность поработать на борту Международной космической станции с моими друзьями.
And I think probably the most important thing about the MKS is it is a demonstration of of what people can do together, people from all over the world.
И МКС является просто великолепным примером того, какую работу люди могут делать совместно.
Спасибо, Федор Николаевич.
Fyodor, thank you, Fyodor Nikolaevich. Well, the backup crew consulted with each other, and we decided that we will answer the question when we're sitting on the right side of the table. Thank you, and let's proceed with the next question.
Peggy, you're likely to surpass some significant milestones, if not records, during your upcoming mission. You're also viewed by many as an iconic figure in human spaceflight. What advice would you offer to youngsters, young adults, young women who would aspire to reach high in their lives and perhaps follow in your footsteps?
I think probably the most important thing is for young people to pursue their goals and their dreams. In pursuing their goals and their dreams, we obviously at NASA want people to reach higher goals for science, math, and technology, which we think is very important to support not only NASA, but all our world, our culture. But I actually think it's actually really important to also try to do things more than you might even feel comfortable doing, to try and be just a little bit better than you even think you might be.
And Peggy, just a quick follow-up. You and your crewmates will arrive on the station Sunday morning early on the 18th anniversary of the first launch of the first element of the International Space Station. Now in the 50th expedition, give us your thoughts on how far this project has come since those first fledgling modules.
I think it's actually quite miraculous that over the years of the construction of an International Space Station that was built, the pieces were built all over the world, and they were never put together until they were 250 miles above the Earth and going 17,500 miles an hour. And what is actually miraculous is that all the pieces fit together, and all the software talks to each other, all the data gets transferred, and it is, to me, a technical miracle that all of that worked.
A question for Thomas Pesquet from Christine Chapelle, TF1 French television. Many times you have said that you were not realizing that you were leaving to space. Now, it's in one day. Do you realizing now, and how do you feel?
No, it's a good question. I'm still not realizing. And trust me, if you were in a window, behind a window, in front of so many people, that would feel very bizarre to you too. But yeah, it looks like it's coming. The rocket is ready. Everything's ready. The crew is ready. So there's still a few boxes to tick, but very small ones, until we tick the very big one tomorrow evening. I don't think I'm still realizing. I think it's going to take the launch of the rocket and feeling the G's and getting to orbit for me to really realize that, yes, my dream has finally come true, and I'm going to space. Donc la question, est-ce que je réalise que ça y est, on va finalement décoller? La réponse est non, toujours pas. Ça fait 7 ans que je m'entraîne. Maintenant qu'on n'a jamais été aussi près de la fusée, bizarrement, tout est étrangement normal jusqu'à ces derniers jours. On était très calme, on finissait notre préparation tranquillement. Et puis on a vu notre fusée qui est prête, qui nous attend. Donc il y a vraiment plus grand-chose maintenant qui pourrait se mettre sur notre route, sur la route qui nous sépare de ce rêve de l'espace. Mais pourtant, non, j'ai pas encore réalisé. Je pense qu'il va falloir vraiment attendre de s'asseoir dans la fusée et puis de sentir les vibrations du décollage, de l'accélération, puis de voir la Terre s'éloigner dans le hublot. Et là, à mon avis, il y aura un petit moment de réalisation. Puis après, il va falloir se reconcentrer un peu sur la conduite du vol. Mais non, jusqu'à demain soir, je pense que je vais encore vivre ma petite vie normale et ensuite, ça va changer.
Спасибо за прекрасный французский.
Thank you for such wonderful French.
Anna Samoilenko
from Yuzhny Space Center. Good afternoon. My question is for Oleg Novitskiy. We know that, Oleg, you will be following the 2-day docking plan. So, Oleg, could you please tell us what crew members do throughout those 2 days? Well, I think to answer this question, we need to have our instructor here who could tell you in great detail what we do. This timeline is well known. The crew members know what's going to happen at what stage of the flight, what systems will get activated. And so this two-day docking plan, two-day docking timeline is well known, but probably I will have to try a shorter one sometime too. And we don't really have too much time. I know we don't have much time, so I would like to ask you about science. I would like to ask Peggy Whitson. We know you're a biochemist. So what goals are you pursuing during your research on ISS, and what are you going to be bringing back to Earth?
ISS, some of it will be with all three crew members working together, for instance, doing a fluid shift study. And I think one of the more interesting experiments for me, because of my background, is going to be looking at how stem cells grow, and also potentially looking at how a bacteria called Staph aureus grows and multiplies, and how mutations occur, and doing the genetic sequencing of those cells. But we're doing a large variety of different scientific experiments, including combustion, crystallization, animal biology, plant biology. So we're looking at a very wide range of experiments.
And in continuation of the question regarding scientific experiments, I wanted to ask Oleg regarding the testing of the MS-03 Soyuz. So, what can you say about the two-day and the shorter docking plan? Are you going to be... what can you tell us about it? Well, can you repeat your question? So what are you going to be testing on MS-03? We're going to be testing, to answer your question, MS-03 thrusters and the telemetry between the vehicle and the ground. And, of course, we decided to transition to the two-day docking plan because then we're going to have plenty of time to test all the systems, and we will be eyes and ears of the specialists on the ground. Thank you. So, my dear colleagues, please, let's move on to some other topics. To Nechkasov Anatoly Ivanovich, representative of Belarus in Kazakhstan. First of all, I would like to say thank you, my dear friends. I am honored to represent Belarus here in Kazakhstan. Oleg Viktorovich Novitskiy was born in Belarus, and a couple of days ago, he was presented with the banner of our republic in the Belarusian embassy in Moscow, and I would like to read the formal address from our nation to Oleg. Dear Mr. Novitskiy, we would like to express our gratitude for not forgetting about your roots, about Belarus, even though you are very short in time due to the training and the preparation. We will forever be proud of having such a wonderful son of the Belarusian people. And we wish you all the best. We wish you successful mission and soft landing from the President of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko. Thank you so much for such kind words. It's a great pleasure to me to hear these words, that Mr. Lukashenko found time and didn't forget about his former countrymen. Thank you so much. It means a great deal to me. Thank you. Next question, please. I have a question to Oleg Novitskiy. Could you please tell me why have you chosen the same call sign, Kazakh? Why is it so important? for you? Well, I don't like change too much. I have served in the Caucasus for a very long time, and Kazakh, it's a mountain. It's the second tallest mountain in the Caucasian range, and I have so many friends left after my service days there. So, with all the good memories about my military service and the mountain range, I would not want to change my call sign. And the next question.
Toulouse, France, Thomas Pesquet, you will go to the ISS with a small piece of Mars that the city gave you. I would like to know what in your mission in the ISS will be like Mars, will help to go to Mars, and what will be very, very different.
So this Mars stone, actually, I probably have to tell the story. It was part of a meteorite that crashed on the Earth, and it came from Mars. It was detached from the Mars surface. It was picked up in the desert, identified as such, and now it's going back to space with me. It's going to come back again, and then the plan is if we're successful, to send it back to Mars on the next generation rover as a calibration target for the instruments. So actually, when you think of it, it has already traveled from Mars, entered the Earth's atmosphere, it's going to leave the Earth again, come back again, leave the Earth one final time, and go back to Mars. So it's going to be the most experienced space traveler there is in the world, much more than all the experience that's on this side of the glass, and that's actually saying a lot. The idea is to show that space exploration is just a whole. We're just one. We're not competing against robotic exploration. We're all working together. What we do on the ISS is just one step on that road to exploration, but we work hand in hand with other parts of exploration, robotics, human, close to the Earth, further away from the Earth, and that's what it means. Concretely, we have a few experiments that look at how to keep men and women in space for longer periods of time, and that's going to be what we need the day we go to Mars in 15, 20 years. Fluid shift that Peggy mentioned is one of these big experiments that's enabling us to go to Mars in the future. Yeah, and some of the exercise devices that we're going to be testing on our flights are more compact, so that we can bring them on an exploration vehicle one day in the future. So that's what we do on the ISS. We're just one step on that road to exploration. On the other hand, we're also doing research for the Earth. But I think it's exciting for us to be part of this, because we know we're just part of that exploration process, but it's going to continue. It's not us that are important. It's the process. The process has to continue. It was there before we came around, and it's going to continue after. And that's what I'm trying to show with that Mars stone. Non, en fait, j'emmène avec moi une pierre de Mars. Donc, c'est un morceau de météorite à peu près de cette taille-là, qui est arrivé de Mars, qui a été détaché de la surface, qui a fait le voyage jusqu'à la Terre, qui est rentré dans l'atmosphère, qui a été trouvé dans le désert du Sahara, qui a été identifié formellement comme venant de la surface de Mars, que moi je vais ramener avec moi dans l'ISS, la ramener, et si tout marche bien, on voudrait ensuite la renvoyer sur Mars comme cible de calibration pour les futurs rovers qui atterriront sur la surface. L'idée, c'est pas juste de faire une performance intéressante, c'est de dire que l'exploration spatiale, c'est un tout en fait. Nous, on fait pas notre petit truc dans notre coin à bord de l'ISS, et puis il y a des gens qui envoient des robots sur Mars, et puis on se parle pas, et puis on est en concurrence. C'est pas du tout ça l'idée, c'est qu'on est vraiment plusieurs branches d'un même mouvement, un grand mouvement d'exploration. On a besoin d'envoyer des robots sur Mars, évidemment, mais on aura aussi besoin un jour d'envoyer des hommes pour que le retour scientifique soit décuplé. Ça, c'est pas moi qui le dis, c'est les scientifiques qui envoient eux-mêmes les robots sur Mars. Donc, en tant que symbole de tout ça, je voulais faire un petit clin d'œil à ce qui se passe sur Mars pour dire on est une grande famille de l'exploration spatiale. Ce qui compte, c'est que ce processus continue. C'est pas mon aventure à moi, c'est que cette aventure est continue dans le futur. Elle était là dans le passé, elle va continuer longtemps après nous, j'espère.
Спасибо. Thank you. Thank you. Please, next question.
Alice Jones, National Geographic. This is a question for Peggy. How do you feel being this close to being back on the space station for the third time? And having been there before, what are you looking forward to the most? And what will you miss the most about planet Earth?
I think probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most is just knowing that every day all the work that we do is so satisfying and gratifying that we're contributing every day to the space flight, space exploration, even if it's testing various different systems or figuring out how to fix something that breaks. All of that is contributing to the next level, even if I'm just cleaning the vents in the fans. It all is important and it all is very satisfying. So that's the thing I look forward to the most. Of course, the cupola wasn't there the last time I was there, so I'm especially looking forward to the view from the cupola. I think that'll be very special. And probably the things that I miss the most, obviously, friends and family, I do miss them. We have a great way to communicate with them via the IP phone and have family conferences, et cetera. And we work with the team every day on the ground from all over the world. And so I don't ever feel particularly like I miss people. I feel like the team is there with us. And so I don't miss people as much. I think probably the thing that I find probably the most challenging about spaceflight is the lack of variety in the food.
There'll be French food this time.
And the next question, please. Discovery Channel. And the question is to Oleg. This is going to be your second mission to the ISS. Could you tell us what is the difference between these two expeditions, one that you have been to and one that you're going to? Well, I think I would rather talk about that after this upcoming expedition. But it's going to be a new Soyuz vehicle, a new crew, new research experiments, and then at the same time, I will be excited to see the Earth from on board the ISS, and I will be happy to share this information and knowledge with the people on the ground. Thank you. Next question to Fyodor Yurchikhin. It's going to be your fifth mission, and could you tell us whether the ISS has changed for you, and what does it feel like to be a backup crew? So are you going to actually also paint your rocket in white as you planned? Well, let's start with the second question. Well, first of all, being a backup crew, it's a great feeling because they have hope. There is light at the end of the road, and the guys who are the prime crew, they don't have any hope. So all I can wish to them is successful launch, and each of them have a really precise watch, and each of them has this watch. So one day, 24 hours, 29 minutes, 7 seconds till launch. So these watches show exactly. So we don't have such watches as they do. So the countdown for us is a little bit different. We are a little bit saddened, Jack and I, that Paolo is not joining us. But to be honest, being in the backup crew is a good feeling. And the prime crew has been in our seats a couple of months ago. As for the feeling on board the ISS and what I think about the ISS, many years ago I said that the ISS is like a school, like a college, where everybody gets together with different experiences and then learn to work together. It's a great example, even now, how people of different cultures, different language backgrounds, different traditions, with many different characteristics, work together successfully for the benefit of one common goal, space exploration program, which is the ISS. And today, I think I also feel that I am son to my parents, and husband to my wife, father to my children. This is what is important to me. And today I hear so many words from the mass media about possible Third World War, and it concerns me. But to me, the ISS is this final example, the best example how people can work together despite everything. Look, here are representatives of 4 countries, and how many countries work on board the ISS, and how many people all over the world support the International Space Station program. We don't even know the exact number, but we don't forget about them. So today, for me, the main goal is to show to our politicians that relations can be different, can be different. So, what about the rocket? Well, there are 2 experienced crew members. So, Jack, as the inexperienced crew member, will be reporting on how he painted the rocket white. And he says that he painted the rocket last night. All right, next question, please. First channel. We know that science research is very important, but you will also have a few holidays during your expedition, during your mission. So, Oleg Nikolaevich, it's going to be the 2nd time you're celebrating New Year on board the ISS. So, are you going to take any presents on board the ISS, any personal items? Thank you. Well, of course, all my personal items have already been weighed and are already loaded, reviewed by the Special Commission. Some of the items that I wanted to bring on board were not deemed fit. As for holidays, there will be New Year and Christmas, 2 birthdays on board the ISS for my colleagues. So I think we are ready for the celebrations and holidays and weekends together. Thank you. Next question, please. Hello, this is Natalia Stelmach, ONT, Belarus. And of course, my question goes to Oleg Novitskiy. I would like to ask you, what do you think about new Orlan spacesuits and the updates introduced to them? Unfortunately, your expedition does not presuppose using those spacesuits during the upcoming spacewalks. Well, of course, we would like to test it. And first of all, we would like to get it out of the Progress vehicle. It's going to be arriving soon after our docking to the ISS, and we have trained in those spacesuits. Unfortunately, we do not have any tasks for spacewalks, but we are ready for the operations, and of course, we are more than willing to perform a spacewalk. Thank you. Next question, please. Colleagues, your questions. I had a serious question regarding science and one not so serious. So, we know that the crew members get ready for the expeditions a little bit differently. We know that food is prepared differently for crew members from different countries, and we know that for Thomas Pesquet, some of the dishes were prepared by Michelin restaurant chefs. Is it true? That is true. But, of course, we will have Russian food and food prepared by chefs from a Michelin star, 5-star restaurant. But it is not only for me. It's going to be for everybody. Not for the backup crew, though. There is some difference here, but I will be making dinner. Christmas? No, actually for New Year. This is my main task and goal. And Peggy is going to be preparing Christmas. Shane is going to be cooking for Thanksgiving. And Oleg is going to be trying all of those dishes. That's the plan so far. And I think everything's going to work out. And in French, please.
Donc, la question, c'est est-ce qu'il paraît qu'on vous a emmené de la nourriture de chef étoilé au Michelin dans la station spatiale, ce qui est vrai. Donc on a de la nourriture pour les grandes occasions, pour Noël, le jour de l'an, les anniversaires. On va avoir 2 anniversaires à bord, le mien, celui de Peggy. Donc on s'est réparti les repas. En fait, moi je suis en charge du jour de l'an, donc on partagera cette nourriture avec tout le monde. On a plusieurs plats qui ont été préparés, entrée, plat, dessert. Je ne veux pas tout raconter maintenant parce qu'il faut garder un petit peu la surprise. Mais chacun va se charger d'un repas de fête et puis on va faire en sorte que tout se passe bien comme ça. Oleg, lui, a pour sa part décidé qu'il était en charge de tout goûter. Voilà.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we can't slow down time, so 3 final questions, please.
Television for Jack Fischer. Jack, you and Fyodor will launch next spring as a 2-man crew. How do you foresee any modifications in your training leading up to that? And then once on orbit, how will the workload be reallocated to accommodate a 5-person crew?
Well, yeah, pour francuski. So
in French.
Will not change that much. We train, the majority of the training flow is the left seat and the commander together. Unfortunately, we won't have Paolo's really long arms to reach the valves that we can't get to, so we'll have to figure out a way to reach those. But for the most part, the training won't change. As far as when we're on station, Peggy already told us that we're just going to have to work harder to account for 5.
Thomas, last year you were backup for Andreas, and Andreas spent 2 days in the Soyuz like you're going to do. And I remember you told me, I hope I won't have to do that. Now you have to. How are you going to cope with this?
So first of all, I'm not in a position to choose. So whatever's in store for us, we'll take care of it and we'll deal with it. But yeah, of course, all the astronauts and the cosmonauts, while the vast majority of them would like to get to station as fast as possible. And I remember Andy, actually, before the flight, he was not too worried about it. But after the flight, he called me from the ISS, because we're good friends. And so I asked, so how about the 2 days in the Soyuz? He said, that's probably the longest 2 days of my entire life. So to get better, because that's what we do in the space program, I try to be prepared. And in my 1.5 kilos, I have a deck of cards. I have some dice, and I've tried to learn a few good stories to entertain my crew in the downtime that we'll have. But there's still plenty of work to do in those 2 days. Lots of maneuvers, phasing with the ISS, catching up. So we'll be at the controls most of the time. At night, when some of us can't really sleep or something, then I'll invite my colleagues to play a few games of cards, French games of cards. I have to teach them the rules first. La question c'est, on a aujourd'hui une trajectoire qui nous amènera à la station spatiale en 2 jours. L'autre possibilité, c'était d'y aller beaucoup plus rapidement en 6 heures. Malheureusement, on n'a pas pu réaliser cette trajectoire. Mon collègue Andreas Mogensen qui a eu alors je peux pas dire malchance parce que quand on va dans l'espace, je pense pas qu'on puisse vraiment parler de malchance ou se plaindre, mais a fait la trajectoire plus longue. Il m'a dit que c'était les 2 jours les plus longs de ma vie parce qu'effectivement à l'intérieur du Soyuz c'est tout petit et quand on travaille pas, il nous reste quand même quelques heures à passer avec pas grand chose à faire. Pour pas me retrouver dans la même situation, j'ai essayé de préparer dans mes affaires de quoi passer le temps pendant la nuit essentiellement. Donc j'ai un jeu de cartes et je vais apprendre à mes collègues à jouer aux cartes avec quelques cartes françaises. J'ai aussi des dés et puis on a fait le plein d'histoires à se raconter. Je pense qu'on aura pas mal de choses à se dire avant d'arriver à la station spatiale.
Thank you. And the final question, please.
Le journal Le Parisien, French daily newspaper, Le Parisien. Thomas, you will be running some scientific experiments in order to have a better knowledge of long-distance journey. But you yourself, do you still hope to be able one day to travel to the moon or even to Mars?
Of course, I think we're all explorers in the astronaut, in the cosmonaut corps. You don't get here if you want a boring job. You get here because you have the will to go further. Today we go to the ISS because it's the farthest distance, the farthest object we could go to. If there's something further, all of the people on this side of the glass will immediately raise their hand and volunteer to go there, because that's what some people in the room are already raising their hands, because that's what we're here for. So yeah, I'm lucky enough to be the youngest one, not by much, but still, I think we're in a good shape now with the program that we have in international cooperation between ESA, NASA, Roscosmos. We have some goals that we've identified. We're working hard, and when I say we, it's not only, of course, the astronaut, the cosmonauts, but also all the people on the ground putting together the work necessary to have the means to go there. So yeah, of course, and today I'm fulfilling my dream, but I keep in the back of my mind that maybe someday there'll be an even bigger dream. I don't know. I'll do whatever I can to make this happen. And if it's not me, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that we go there and that someone gets there. Maybe that person is not born. Maybe that person is younger. Maybe that person is older than me. I don't know. What matters is we continue on that path of exploration that we've initiated not so long ago for a few dozen years now. And that someday we see people walking back on the moon, we see people walking back on Mars, and we go step by step as far as we can into the solar system to improve our knowledge of life in general. Donc la question sur le futur et peut-être mon rêve ensuite d'aller sur une autre planète ou sur un autre corps céleste que la Terre. Oui, évidemment, on a tout ça un peu en tête, ça fait partie du métier. Je pense qu'on est ici pour être des explorateurs. On va dans l'ISS pour réaliser des expériences scientifiques, mais pas seulement, aussi pour rendre possible les futurs vols. C'est vraiment une étape sur cette route de l'exploration. Aujourd'hui, si on demandait à qui que ce soit de ce côté de la vitre s'il avait envie d'aller sur Mars, tout le monde lèverait la main. Je pense que c'est dans la nature de l'homme d'aller de plus en plus loin. En tout cas, c'est pour ça qu'on est là, c'est pour ça qu'on a signé, c'est pour ça qu'on nous entraîne. Et on est prêt à faire ce sacrifice de partir vers de plus en plus loin dans l'espace. Ce qui est important, c'est pas vraiment que ce soit moi ou quelqu'un d'autre qui y aille, c'est pas une histoire de personne, c'est vraiment une histoire de l'humanité en général, pour utiliser des bien grands mots, mais pour continuer cette exploration qu'on a entamée dans l'espace il n'y a pas si longtemps que ça, 55 ans depuis le vol de Yuri Gagarin cette année. Donc c'est tout jeune, c'est tout neuf. La station spatiale, 18 ans, c'est à peine l'âge de la majorité. Donc il faut que ça continue. Je pense qu'on est en bonne voie. Il y a des gens qui travaillent partout dans les différentes agences internationales, pas que les astronautes évidemment, vraiment pas, mais aussi tous les gens qui font en sorte que ces programmes puissent prendre leur envol en fait, tout bêtement. Aujourd'hui, on a des destinations identifiées. On veut retourner sur la Lune de manière plus permanente. Et puis, on sait qu'on a tous Mars dans le viseur à une échelle à moyen terme, on va dire, une vingtaine d'années. Donc, si c'est moi, je serais très heureux. Si c'est pas moi, c'est pas grave. Ce qui compte, c'est qu'on y aille. Et je pense qu'on est en bonne position, qu'on travaille tous dans le même sens pour y aller. C'est ça qui est important.
Thank you so much. Dear colleagues, thank you for your questions. Dear crews, thank you for your exhaustive answers to the questions. Thank you so much. Once again, good luck to the crews. I would like to remind you that the launch is scheduled for the 17th of November at 23:20 Moscow time. Good afternoon, dear friends. Let me thank you for finding time to be present here and to pray together with me for the crew members, and to thank them for all their labors. And God save you. God be with you. God be with you.